All right, so the other day came home with Mustang after work, and it was low on fuel. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely in the empty range. And as I was almost home, it sputtered a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, I guess it is pretty empty." Even though I'm pretty sure I've had it further down into the E range of empty before. But anyway, so it sputtered. So I brought it home, and then I was like, all right, whatever. Well, then the other day I was like, I should go fill it up because I was going to use it to take work today. So went to start it up, and it wouldn't start, and the fuel pump made a really weird sound. So I was like, oh, I guess it is empty. So then I went and I put, I don't know, I would say at least 2 gallons of gas in it from a container, and it started right up, it ran, and then it quit. So I'm not quite sure exactly what the problem is here. That's really dark. That doesn't help much, huh? So there you can see the gauge. I'm gonna key the car here, and we can kind of listen to the fuel pump and watch the gauge here and see where we're at. So, yeah. So if you look at the gauge, you can see it's above the E in the red. But if you listen to the pump, it sounds like it's doing absolutely nothing. Oh, that sounded better. That sounded like it was actually picking up fuel. That's weird. That sounded okay. This pump sounds like it's running. Let's try starting it. Okay, so that's really weird. I have no idea. It would not run like that yesterday. I got it to start. It ran for, I don't know, 5 seconds or so, and then it shut off. And like I said, now looking at this gauge right now, it's hard to see in the camera. It's almost directly between, if you're looking straight at it, which I can't do with the camera because the steering wheel's in the way. It's basically between the E and the quarter, so I don't know why that thing would have been sputtering like it was. Ooh, I don't know. I kind of want to run it down to the gas station, fill it up. I don't want to dump more gas off the gas can, but same token, if it is the fuel pump, I don't want the car stranded, and then I got to figure out how to tow it home tonight. It's a tough one. Maybe I'll start it and just let it run. But yeah, the fuel pump, maybe it just lost its prime. See, now here's the thing. I was thinking, so part of the story I left out is I was in fourth gear as I was coming home, and was going at a pretty good clip and accelerating that whole time in fourth. And with it being low fuel, I'm thinking that maybe all the fuel in the tank was like to the back, or what was in the tank was to the back because I was accelerating. So maybe it was away from the fuel pump, and maybe somehow I got air in the line, and that's what the problem was. I don't know. Yeah, this is weird. I was ready to drop the tank tonight and order a pump, but maybe I don't have to. Alright, well, let me explore a little bit. So that's after 5 gallons of fuel. So, I don't know, maybe it was that low. I don't know, still when I start it though, the fuel pump just sounds odd. I don't know. The things that don't make sense though to me is that the car's only got 61,000 miles. Yeah, the car's 23 years old, but a failed fuel pump at this point, I just don't think it's possible. I mean, I guess anything is possible, but it just doesn't seem very likely. The other thing is the fuel filter. I mean, I think it's supposed to be changed every 30,000 miles. I've changed it almost every year. So it's not like the fuel filter is an issue in there. So it's not the pressure regulator. That's been changed. It's not a fuse or a relay. I don't think it's anything to do with the computer because the pump's not staying on and just keep, you know, priming before you start it. So that's not an issue. If it was a relay, it wouldn't work. I wouldn't think at all. Same thing with the fuse. If the fuse was out for the fuel pump, the car obviously wouldn't be running right now. But to me, I don't know. Let me shut it off again here. When I start when I key the pump here, yeah, it does not sound right to me. I'm gonna set the camera up right underneath the gas tank here. Alright, so I'm gonna key the pump here and you can just take a listen. So I don't know. I think what I'm gonna do, instead of driving it down the hill, I'm gonna drive it up the hill and go from there. And then if it does quit on me, hopefully I can get it to roll back down here so I can roll it into the driveway or into the garage, even better yet. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to keep you updated on that. It seems just really weird to me that the thing would act like that. I don't know, maybe it was out of gas, but like I said, I've had it, and I know you're not supposed to do this, but like where it's the red here, I always gauge the red, that there's a top and a bottom, and you could get this needle below the red, which there again, I know that's not the right thing to be doing, but I got a buddy that's got a 84 Mustang, and I don't think he's ever had more than a quarter tank in that thing, and like he could run that thing down. Well, he has a fuel light as well that would come on, and he'd always drive it with the fuel light on, and that thing never ever had the same issue. Granted, that was a mechanical pump, I think. Maybe he put an electronic one on. Might be an electric pump, but I don't know. I'll keep you posted. So alright, so I just filled the car up here. I might top it off though. So I put in a little over 8 gallons. I had 5 gallons in a can, so that's 13. And then if you recall, I said I put at least 2 gallons in. I think it was 2 gallons from a different container. The tank only holds 15.4. That number is ingrained in my mind. So 15.4 is what the tank holds. And I put 13 in at home here from 5, and then the 8 here. So it's 13 total plus what I put in the from that first tank. So yeah, it was probably out of gas. I don't think there's anything wrong with the fuel pump. So yeah, that's weird, because I've never run it down that low, and now we're at like, you know, 8.3, so you could say 8.5 gallons, so that's 13.5, and if I put 2 in, that gets you to 15. Yeah, there was nothing in there. So alright, I guess that makes sense. So I guess my fuel pump's okay. Rock on.